All right, I think we're ready to try something different today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. We're trying something different here today. My name is Jeff Fritz. This is the Visual Studio channel here, and I don't have a guest today. Nobody's over there in the big box, and that's okay. I want to show you some of the cool things that we're working on here on the Visual Studio channel. Now, you might be watching this over on my normal channel, over there on C# Fritz, and that's okay. That's great, but we're going to be chatting, we're going to be focusing and talking to our friends here on the Visual Studio channel today. We're going to be working on some stuff to get the Visual Studio channel ready for .NET Conf, ready for our workshop a little bit later this week, and we're going to have a good time showing you how to get started. There we go. There's my microphone. That's a little bit better. We're going to show you how to get started with building and working with Twitch, with OBS, with some of the other tools that make it a little bit easier for folks to get started streaming here live on Twitch, on Mixer, on YouTube, wherever it is that you might be working. I know there's a lot of folks out there that are interested in getting started building and working with this. Yeah, there we go. I got my sound better. It's the stuff that works with Skype for Business and with Teams. They like to grab the microphone and push the sound way down. So let's talk about it. I'm going to get some music playing here in the background. If you're not familiar with my stream, on my stream, we like to play in the background some music that's really cool, that's groovy, that's music that you can flow by, that you can get in the groove and get focused on whatever task it is that you might be working on. And today we're going to play some of that music thanks to our good friend Carl Franklin. I like to have this in the background so that we can get focused, and it's groovy. It makes me feel good to listen to some of this music. So today I'm going to play a song called Blue here in the background. There we go. Blue is available completely free if you go to musictoflowby.com. This is 25 minutes. It's a Pomodoro length. Focus, work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break and then start again on the next play of the song, getting focused, and you'll find yourself more productive, more focused, and you'll get more done throughout the day. Big thanks to our friend Carl Franklin for letting us use some of this music here today, and I hope you enjoy it and you check it out on your own. Thanks so much to Carl for letting us listen to this music here on stream. Now, I'm going to double check a couple things here because this is the maiden voyage of the channel, as it were, because we're getting things up and ready, and I want to make sure that we're maintaining, that we're storing our past broadcasts, and we've got a couple other things set up for us here in the dashboard ready to go. So I'm going to hide some of the numbers and things that are out here just to make sure. But I'm going to peel back the layer here. I'm going to show you a little bit about how I run my stream, how I configure things, and then I want to take you on a tour. I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you how I'm setting up for both our workshop at the end of this week and for .NET Conf. .NET Conf is the big conference that we're hosting in 2 weeks. Not this Friday, but next Friday. How we're getting things set up and running so that folks can have fun tuning in, learning more all about .NET here on Twitch, over on Mixer, other places. But today we're going to be focusing and broadcasting right here on Twitch. And answering your questions in the chat room. So stream seems a little bit laggy according to, who's that? To Sarnal. Here we go. So we're going to start right away. I think I have low latency turned on here on the stream. Let's do... I'm looking for the low latency settings. Let's wander over here. There I am in the corner. So this is what things look like as you are as you are a broadcaster and you're presenting things live on Twitch, right? I've got a little bit of lag presenting to me, right? There's at its best a 3-second delay here, and you'll see a little bit of display here, a little screenshot of what's going on, what's being presented currently out to your viewers. And I like to keep this video preview open just so that I can double check, peek in there, and make sure that everything looks good, right? I can see what's going on there. So this is a good place to monitor what's happening here. And right now I have my game category, all my information about the current stream that I'm presenting to you listed here in this panel on the far left. So here's the title of the stream, Getting Started Streaming, behind the scenes of the Visual Studio channel. I can set a go live notification. What am I going to send to those folks that are following the Visual Studio channel so that they know, hey, we're broadcasting, we're started here. And I can set my category, my communities, and that's information to help with organizing and presenting information here on Twitch, so that folks can find the channel. And I'm going to get to that chat room in just a little bit here. Stream health is here. I'm broadcasting. I broadcast at about 2,500 kilobits per second. Now, kilobytes per second. Now, that means that for what we're doing here, because I'm not refreshing the screen, there isn't a lot of action. We don't need to refresh all of this screen quickly, all the time. It just presents and it actually looks pretty good and yes, I am presenting at 1080, 60 frames a second. And because the Visual Studio Stream is a partner, you should actually not have any issues with it lagging behind. You should have great presentation, and because it's a partner stream, you should also always get an encoder here on the Visual Studio channel when folks are presenting live from this channel. Now I have some other options here to add stream markers, so I can mark when there's something that I want to show and present information about. I can run advertisements. I don't want to do that. 2400 is a bit low for 1080, says our friend Chef Brent. You know what? I haven't had too much of a problem presenting at it. It's been excellent quality. I can certainly bump it up if I need to, but we've been pretty good shape at that bit rate. And I've seen folks that say they wanted to push 720p. Right? They want to push at a lower resolution, and they're pushing 6,500 kilobits per second. That's a lot, and you don't need that. Yes, Lucas is right there. Higher than 3,000 gets rough for the slower connections. Because there isn't so much going on the screen, it doesn't need to repaint as much for the type of presentation that we do here. So at the lower resolution actually works pretty good. We're not seeing significant frame drops. So audio is doing well given proximity to the mic and no pop filter. There's actually a pop filter built into, this is a Rode Podcaster here. Okay, and I've actually got additional sound equipment coming in the next few days that are going to make that even better. So I'm going to, before I get to more in the chat room here, let me just pan across here. You can see I've got stats. Here's what's going on. Folks have already made some clips. I've been going for about 11 minutes now. The number of viewers currently looking in, peeking in, and watching what's going on here on the stream. And there's information about the number of views, the number of followers, the number of subscribers, and that's information that I'm not going to share with you. You can see the number of followers, the number of views. You can see that. I'll let you see those. But the subscribers, we're not actively doing anything with subscriptions on this channel. All right. So looking over, the next item here, of course, is Stream Chat. Stream Chat's so important, right? If you're a new streamer and you want to engage and you want to build an audience, you gotta talk to the folks that are in your chat, and if you've seen my channel, you know that I'm always talking to the folks in chat. So hello there to our friends Brave Cobra and Chef Brent. Smab is here. Let's see, Lucas Ribeiro, good to see you. Alok Pandy and Zarnal. CTM Cisco, nice to meet you. For a programming stream, I think we do have a good balance here. What am I drinking today? I'm drinking G Fuel Fruit Punch is what I have in my shaker cup today. 1080 would be best for reading text. Yes, instead of showing a game, folks that do want to show a game will broadcast at 1080, and they will let folks scale appropriately. They will let Twitch, Mixer, YouTube scale their presentation appropriately, and that's okay. We can broadcast at 720. You'll get a smaller screen, and you will be able to interact and see that content, and it's not bad. But when I want to be able to show you more code on screen, I prefer to be at 1080. So 720, you do need to change your font sizes and the resolution in order to make that feel a little bit better. But 720 also means I can go to a lower bit rate in my transmission and still present content well. And you'll see me use a 720 resolution and a lower bit rate when I am when I'm on the road and I'm perhaps working in a hotel or someplace that has a little bit spotty network. But certainly when I'm presenting from someplace like Build or Ignite, like we're going to present in a few weeks, you will see me at the higher resolution because we have a great connection at those events. Hey Moz, good to see you. Dropping my C# emote from the C# Fritz channel in there. Thanks so much. I do want to call out, so I see some of my normal viewers from the C# Fritz channel. We had over 100 new followers over the weekend, and we are at 3,525 followers. So you may have heard me on .NET Rocks. You may have seen me on my channel talk about the Rainbow Beard Challenge. And I've got this wonderful soup catcher here hanging off my face. We're challenging the community to help us spread the word about programming streams here on Twitch, and if we can get to 5,000 followers on the C# Fritz channel, I'm going to dye my beard here rainbow colored. So we got to get there by the middle of October. We've got about 3,525 followers as I peek over at that channel over here on my other machine. Click follow, wander over there, click follow, and help out with that, and you might see me dye my face here a little bit later in October. Let's see. Thanks for doing this. Looking to get started with your own channel. Says, oh, that's I think that's our friend Gary Park. Good to see you, Gary. You got that sticker on your PC. It says Hagar. Is it Hagar or Hagar Delgada? Absolutely. That's that C# super C# logo is something that's open source, free for the community to use. So I grabbed it and I'm using it over here. I think I'd be at 3,500 given that this channel has transcoding. It does. I could certainly bump it up a little bit. I think I can actually change that setting in OBS here without... Right? Yeah, there's my bit rate. I can push that up to 3,500. Let's do that. Let's see what happens here if this blows it out. There we go. I clicked apply and... it might wander up here. We'll see. I'm already pushing 2,600 on my output. It might not go because I didn't restart the channel. But I will show you a little bit of OBS. I'm going to show you a little bit of a tool that I'm using called Stream Elements. I'm going to show you behind the scenes today, and we're going to look at Streamlabs a little bit. And we're really going to look at this is the behind the scenes meta of really showing how things work. So. Let's see. You are my face for Microsoft, says Mud Diver. Love the shows you do. Well, thank you, Mud Diver. I appreciate the kind words. I want to make sure that there's a friendly face that's here on the VisualStudio channel, answering questions, helping out, even if it's someone we syndicate, like our friend Chef Brent here. If he's broadcasting and talking about stuff, or even if they're doing a cooking with heat show that we're going to syndicate over here on Visual Studio channel every now and again, I want to make sure that there's somebody here doing something fun with technology, with coding, not just .NET or Visual Studio, but fun with technology, and we'll see some cool stuff here. Daddy Bill would be proud. Well, we'll see about that. I have a post about my setup on my blog. Absolutely. And for anybody that's thinking of streaming, please drop me a line. Let me know that you're interested, because folks that are MVPs, folks that are in the community and doing great things in their streams, we want to syndicate you. We want to, highlight you, bring some of the Visual Studio folks to your channel. We do have some standards that we want to adhere to. We want to make sure that all the content here on the Visual Studio channel is family friendly. We want to make sure that we can give you a little bit of support, a little bit of highlight on your channels, and also showcase them here so that there are, like I said, friendly faces in our community ready to help out and showing some cool things that you're building on your channels as well. So, wow, I'm seeing some friends here. And yes, Joker, you make a very good point. You do need some a pretty good bandwidth to push up to present on a stream like this. Let me show you. I'm going to go to fast.com and let me show you what it looks like coming from my house here. So you can see my connection is about 82 megabits per second. That's pretty good. If I drill in here a little bit, it didn't even test my upload. Here's my upload speed, and that's while I'm pushing to Twitch here. And this is going from, now it's saying Lansdale. That's not where I live. It's close, but it's not where I live. But it's going to Philadelphia and to Newark, and I'm seeing pretty good rate here. And I'm certainly paying a premium so that I can push more data out. So, standards, I'm out. Nice to see. Oh, Arts. We certainly want to make sure that folks are behaving, right, having a good time, and presenting some good content with each other. So we want to make sure that we're welcoming for everybody, not just a couple of folks that are okay with some more mature themes, right? We want to make sure this is family friendly. Anybody can watch, anybody can tune in, and have a good time. So. Your employer isn't on board with streaming all the time, so it makes it difficult. That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to stream all the time. I'm lucky. My employer is very much approves of what we're doing here. They gave me the brand to stream with here, and we're going to do some great things. Yes, I am using Fios, Maruko. I am on a Verizon Fios connection, so I'm fortunate. I actually have access to both Xfinity and Fios in my home. I chose Fios for this. I don't think it showed my IP. So let's take a look at some other things here. I can also schedule premieres or reruns of various shows here. That's something that we may use in the future as we are isolating and building out some content. We think it might be a fun idea to grab Azure Fridays, grab that video and play it as a rerun here on the channel with some folks that can answer questions while Scott or Donovan, or I forget the third host, while the hosts are presenting their content and can show that off. So we can grab that video and re-present it here along with some folks, like I said, in the chat room who are able to answer that. So some services got some issues today, some extensions to this channel. Whatever. You can see now I have a hosting panel here that shows the folks that are hosting us right now, including my channel. And some of these are folks that we're going to be automatically hosting when they broadcast as well. So DevChatter and myself, when we broadcast, they get automatically hosted over here onto Visual Studio. And I can manage that list by going into the gear here and playing around with a full list of folks over there. So, AGRTGA, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. Is that Agar? I'm not sure. I'm not even going to try it. We're talking about what's involved in getting started streaming. We're going to talk about doing a little bit of stream configuration and what we can do with that here as we get ready for our events to launch the Visual Studio channel. Just wanted to take this out and see what's involved here. Oh, the cloud services. Yes, there are a couple of AGR, not a problem. There are a couple of cloud services that are having some issues this morning. So, all right. So that's a little bit about the console that we have here. There are all kinds of extensions you can install on the front page of your channel. And I'm not going to dig into that. That's not something that I'm too concerned with. But I do want to show you a little bit about events. So I've configured an event already for .NET Conf here. And .NET Conf is, of course, next week. Yeah, next week. Oh my gosh, it's next week. 3-day full virtual developer event co-organized by .NET Community, Microsoft, blah, 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 blah. This is real easy for me to create and put content into here so that you get a cool share button. There's also a button, where is it? There's a like save the date button that you can get in here somewhere. I don't see it. Oh, the remind me. If you click that, it'll set a, where does it set a reminder? I think it's maybe in Twitch, it'll remind you about that. So you can click around and set that up. I want to set up another event for our DevOps workshop that we're going to have later this week. And I have the data for that in my email. So I'm going to open my email and move that to another screen. Let me do this while I grab my email here and move it off to a separate screen. And then I can grab that content and copy it in for us here. All right. Here we go. So let's create another event here so that we can talk about our next event that we have coming up. So I'm going to go back one and I'm going to click Add Event up here. Now, I am keeping an eye on the chat room, even though I'm not looking at my dashboard here, because I've got another app running over here called Chatty. Let me show you this. So Chatty is just a Java client that you can install with Chocolatey, or you can go to Chatty's website and you can download this. And I actually keep this on a monitor over here to this side so that I can look over and see what's going on over here. Dev Chatter stream had nice green screen background. What do you mean, Janescu? I do have a green screen running behind me. That's why I'm able to drop out the background here. I'm not going to upload an image for this, but we are going to define this DevOps workshop that we're going to have later this week. And I'm going to reach into my email over here and find... I have data for an agenda page. Here we go. Let's grab this. I've been discussing and nailing this down with my colleagues that are going to be part of this. Let me see here. And where is it? Where is it? I have it. I'm going to make sure I grab the right bit here. Not that one. Nope. Got to grab the right email here, you know what I mean? Hang on. Need to make sure I'm showing the right thing here. 1 second. And I don't want something to open on the wrong screen, you know what I mean? That'd be bad. I'd get in lots of trouble. That's not it. That's not it. No. No, no, no. All right. Where'd my email go? I'm sorry, this is not very exciting watching me look for an email here that has all the details in it. It is not that one. No, no. Here we go. Got it. All right. Quick screenshot my passwords. There are no passwords. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to call this DevOps Training Workshop. And here is, right. So we will say, learn about DevOps from cloud developer advocates in the community in this full day interactive workshop. And then I have this schedule that I'm going to paste in here. And let's line this up a little bit. So this is all Pacific time. So we're getting started with CI/CD, deploying to containers in Kubernetes. Cool. All right. I think that works. So this starts at 8 a.m. Pacific, which is actually 11 a.m. Eastern. So let's set this so that folks know when this starts. And that's going to be on Friday, and we're ending on Friday. And I think we're going to be ending at about, I think it's 5 is when we're scheduled to end. English, yep. And this is programming. You know what? The song stopped. Need to make that keep going. All right. So I've got a very simple event description and everything for this. I'll save that, and there's my event for the training workshop. You listen to metal while you write code. That is so cool. Honestly, for this type of presentation, I don't think metal would be a very good idea. Behold a man with too many emails. Yes. It is not Moonlight Sonata. This is, like I said, this is Blue from our friend Carl Franklin. And it's some of the music to flow by that he's written and is made available. Now, my friends over there in the League of Extraordinary Cloud Developers have a cool logo. I'll grab that from them, and we'll update that logo appropriately when it's ready. But here it is, all ready to go for our event this weekend. Now, let's see. All right. So, next step. So now I've got my workshop defined. I've still got some things that I want to configure, and I want to show you stuff that I'm going to configure and get ready for our .NET Conf event, and stuff that I'm setting up with Stream Elements and Streamlabs for both of those. So let's do this. My production machine that I use here at home isn't... Thank you, Smab. Smab says he listens to C# Fritz when he codes. Nice. All right. Thank you. When I write code for this event that we're going to be hosting, the .NET Conf event. Now, this workshop I'm hosting here from my home on my normal production machines, and I've already got things configured for that. And I'm going to use a lot of the stuff that I've already got set up here for the VisualStudio channel. It's already built and we're running with today. But for... Is that going to work? There it goes. But for .NET Conf, I'm actually going to be taking my Surface Book, and I'm going to be using my 2 laptop configuration from the Channel 9 studios on that day. And this is a setup that you can do pretty easily, very low cost, wherever it is that you're working, because I'm actually using bargain basement convenient hardware that I have in order to get started hosting my stream. So this is the setup that I have. I went to live.jeffreyfritz.com, or you can go to jeffreyfritz.com/live. There's a link down at the bottom to my setup. And you can see the Rode Podcaster I'm using, my arm that I'm using with the shock mount, information about. I was using a Logitech 920 camera. This was one of the first of it. It wasn't very high quality. But I was using, normally when I use 2 laptops to broadcast, I was using a Lenovo Yoga and a Surface Book 2. And I have those networked together so that I can have them communicate with each other. So yes, OBS does support hardware acceleration. So we're going to go over to OBS on my Surface Book that we're going to use from the Channel 9 Studios in order to use OBS, that's the Open Broadcaster software, in order to show and present all of our content. I'm also using, as part of that presentation, a StreamDeck. Now, let's talk about OBS first. OBS is the Open Broadcaster software. It's free, it's open source, anybody can download and use this. Windows, Mac, Linux. And it's real easy to get this configured and running. You have various scenes, and you've seen me bounce through some of these scenes here. Like this, or that, or this one, or even over here. Even when I had the starting shortly, this is just another scene. Okay? And these are visible down the side here, inside of my OBS, and then you have various sources. So right now my display that you see behind me here, that's a source. This is just capturing the video that my machine is outputting to this display. Right? I have 3 displays connected to this machine. I have one to the right that I actually have OBS running on. I have one to the left that has Chatty running over here. And then the one in the middle that's a big 27-inch that I'm actually looking at that has OBS running on. What about that green screen setup? How do you get that figured out? Let me show you. So this is going to look a little bit weird. I'm going to go actually so that because the background behind me is what's being displayed here on display 2. In order for me to put OBS on it, it's going to look kind of weird. So I'm actually going to put up the .NET Conf background here so that you see that. All right, now I'm really peeling back the layers here. Now you can see exactly what this looks like when I'm broadcasting. This is what I see. Turok says, will .NET Conf be streamed from here, or Channel 9 will be the main source? Both. You're going to be able to find, if you go to .NETconf.com, you're going to find a common video source, and it's going to be output everywhere. We're going to send it to Mixer, to Twitch. We're going to send it, it'll be on the Channel 9 website. It'll be all a bunch of different places. But when we get through to the community day, it'll all be here on Twitch and Mixer. I don't stream, but I like that OBS is now available for, and then why do I have stars there? Would you, let's see, would you use different equipment when streaming, just recording? No, actually, I use the same equipment for both. Whether I'm recording video for Microsoft Virtual Academy, Wintellect Now, Pluralsight, I use the same Rode Podcaster. I now have a Razer Kio camera. You may have heard me talk about that the other day on my stream. But I use the exact same equipment for both, and it works really nice. I record, though, when I'm recording courses with Camtasia. Camtasia is really a great tool for that. It costs a little bit, but it is so worth it. It's really what you want to be using. Alex asks, OBS versus Streamlabs OBS. OBS. Use OBS. Streamlabs OBS, I understand what they're trying to do there. They monkeyed with the browser plugin. I'll show you the browser plugin in a minute here. And it effectively, it doesn't render quite the same way because they want to get you hooked into their services. So everything that you can do with Streamlabs OBS, you can do with OBS. And Streamlabs OBS is just this, because it's open source. The Streamlabs folks downloaded and they input all their widget stuff directly into. Kio lighting looks good, nice and soft. Thank you. Okay. So OBS has these different scenes down here, and you saw me bounce through some of them. Okay. And I've got them set up with these different sources. So here's the host nameplate, and I've got a little eyeball next to that. I can turn it on and off by clicking that. And I've got a lock. If I click that lock, you see the red border appears around my name. And I can take that and move that around and resize it and whatnot. Now, that's nice. That's okay to work with. But I don't want it moving. Once I have it in place where I want it, I want to lock that in place so it doesn't move. I don't want to accidentally drag it somewhere, and that's a problem, okay? So the .NET Conf is just an image that's showing up there in the background. So if I double click on this, you can see it's actually sitting out here on my OneDrive under Visual Studio channel, and this is just from my offline logos folder, and then there's that image. Now there's an option here to unload the image when you're not showing. Your mileage may vary with that. I find that I want the images to be loaded and sitting in memory so that it loads immediately. Otherwise you can check that and it'll load it when you finally come into this scene and it'll show it. Or are we supposed to see OBS? Aren't you seeing? Oh wait, you're right, I can't. If I do this, now you see this weird background, right, where it's just lots and lots of me. Let's see, how can I do this nicely? Because I need to show me, but I need to not show me. It's weird. So it's kind of weird like that. Let's just run with it for now. I'm not quite sure how it would show OBS without showing the background. If I put it on a different machine, or if I set the display to a different display, even if I did, you're still going to see the display. Not quite sure how I would do that. Right click on the video in OBS. Yeah. I can lock the preview. Put it on something else and lock the preview. Or I could do studio mode and make it a little bit, no. If I lock the preview, no. Oh, enable preview, let's turn that off. Now you can't see what I'm displaying at all. Yeah. Cover the video window with another one. I could have done that. But now you can't see me clicking around and what the different things are that I'm showing. Which feels weird. I think I'm going to go with the infinite lookup. Whoa, look, it's all a Jeff. Did I go over machine specs? No, machine specs are a little bit, it varies for different folks. I definitely recommend a huge, the best video card that you can get, because you're going to be doing a lot of video work here. Well, actually, we want to show the face cam a little bit, because we're going to talk about green screen. So give me a second here. When you do look at getting a machine, make sure you get something that has the best video card you can, because you're rendering a lot of video content. And you need to make sure that as you send it over, you don't want to drop frames. And you can see I've dropped a couple frames here. That's bad. You never want to drop frames, because that means that the video is going to stutter. And you don't want video to stutter. Don't do that. You can see my CPU is humming along. It's not doing too much here. This is running on a desktop machine. This is a Dell workstation that's actually running an i7, and the CPU is not busy. But I have a big video card in here, a 1060 NVIDIA video card in here that has 6 gig of RAM on it. 6 gig of video RAM on it. So it's just humming along and presenting my content. Now, there were some questions about the green screen. So that's under my webcam. And if you look at my webcam, there you go. That's a little bit easier to see. You see 970 is plenty, folks are saying. Yeah, you might be all right. Like I said, I went as high end as I could, because I wanted to make sure that I'm covered for a little bit of time and be able to do a little bit more than this. So, so I have several different devices here that I can wire in and use. The NDI is a really cool one, because you can actually use NDI. That's the same technology the TriCaster uses to send video over the network. you can actually bring in video using this NDI plugin that it doesn't come with OBS, but I installed it as a plugin so that I can get video directly from Skype and present it here using the new Skype NDI features. My Elgato game capture here, that's how I capture things from another machine, by plugging it in right into the USB and presenting it here. Now our friend Chef Brent is a big fan of, I think it's Magewell is the type of card that you prefer. But Elgato has worked well for me on the road, especially when I'm scaling down video and I'm not presenting at full high def. The Elgato will start to lag behind when you're presenting content. So I can select my different devices here. I can configure, and that'll jump you right into that same camera configuration. And then I have my resolution and all the information about configuring. No. There we go. Configuring everything for my camera right here. Now, I typically don't do too much with this stuff. The Elgato Cam Link is driverless. I had some problems with that on stage at build. Terrible problems with that on stage at build. So, that was me. Dropping frames means your encoder can't keep up with what it's trying to encode, whether that's CPU or GPU, depends on your encoder settings. Yes. So in my settings, if I go to output, you see my encoder is NVENC H264. That's the NVIDIA rendering. And it's actually streaming using my NVIDIA card and the GPU to send that content out to you. So this way, I've got a nice bit rate, things are coming through, and it renders and looks nice. So basically just don't like capture cards that require software and extra drivers. I don't blame you for that. Don't blame you for that at all. Alright. So that's how I have my output configured. If I go under stream here, you'll see actually you shouldn't see my key. Let me So under stream, you'll see I have selected Twitch. I have it automatically choosing the closest server, and then my stream key is keyed in here so that it knows here's that secret key that I connect out to and use to authenticate my connection to Twitch. So you can do other things under audio and video here to set up like monitoring, right? If I wanted to monitor, you can see here, here's my resolution that I'm outputting at. I think it's under, there it is. I can do audio monitoring. So if I had different audio connections here, had things coming in from multiple devices, it would be beneficial to be able to monitor exactly what's being transmitted out there. I don't actually have the monitoring turned on right now, but I can have it output to the same device that I'm listening to coming through here. Wally says, I use Razer Ripsaw, which is an external USB 3 capture device. Wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. Capture devices, if you have a desktop, you can get some great internal cards for capture that work really, really nicely. I would encourage you to check those out. So, now, there was the question about the green screen. There's filters behind your camera here, and I've got a couple filters set up that you can see. The first is a crop filter. This will be applied everywhere that I use this my webcam video source. And you can see I'm cutting off a little bit off the sides because this camera captures at a high def resolution, so it's not a square picture, right? It's not a 4:3, it's 16:9. Well, I wanted to cut it down a little bit, chop off a little on the bottom so that I fit in nicely here. So that it will just follow, and I'll always have this exact same shape to my video, and then I can stretch it, enlarge it, put it wherever I want inside of my scenes. One high-end streaming rig. No, it's actually not. The rig that I have, the machine that I have, ran about $1,500 for the machine. The camera that I have here was about another $100. The microphone is about 150, 200. The arm is about another 30 to 50 bucks. And that's about it, what I have there. And we'll talk about some of the other gizmos that I have around me here in just a minute. Chroma key is the one that people ask about. How do you make that look like you're sitting in the middle of your screen like that? Well, that's what chroma key is. It's the same thing you see the weatherman use on the news. And you tell it, anywhere that you see this color, green, remove it. Get it out, cut it out, make it transparent. And that's why when I wave my hand here, you can see that there's a little bit of green around my hand. And when I turn off the filter, right, you see that I'm actually in front of a green screen. And I bought a little green screen for, I think the screen cost me 50 bucks, and there was another $10, $20 for the stand that it's clipped to. And if you see me at an event, I bring my green screen with me because it's real easy to fold up into a small little package, and the stand collapses up real small, and I can get it into my suitcase and take it with me. So green screen's really cool, and without it, you see I've got this green square around me on the presentation, and it's kind of lame. So I have all these different settings that I tell OBS, match the color, make it this similarity, make it some of these things here so that we can see and feel exactly what this looks like. I'm going to set something up over here real quick. On my StreamDeck. There we go. All right. So I've played with the settings here to get it to line up, and when I turn it on, everything removes. And you can see the edges of my chair are a little bit rendered funny, and that's okay. But it does drop out everything in the background so that it looks nice. Do I have a link for where to buy that? Yes. So if you go back to my blog, and right, if you go to either jeffreyfritz.com/live, or you can go live.jeffreyfritz.com. There's a link to go to my channel here and to the entire collection of videos that we've recorded and presented. But I also have a link to the blog post, Live Streaming 101. Click through to that, and there's information about my green screen and some guy with hair here. But there it is. That's what it looks like inside my home. So you can see I've got this, and this is an IKEA Marcus chair that I have sitting in front of my green screen. So real easy to set up. So it's not too fancy. These things are individually inexpensive, and I've been slowly building. And if you've watched my streams, you've seen I didn't start off with a green screen. It took me a couple weeks, and then I got a green screen. And, you know, I've slowly add new features. I slowly add new capabilities to this. I need my password over here. Let's see, not that one. I'm setting up something inside of, well, here, let's just show you the StreamDeck. So that's my camera. That's how the camera works, and how I can get it embedded here so it looks like I'm sitting in the middle of my code. Display 0, this is just a pointer that says capture this display and present it, and I layer it appropriately on screen. And then the host nameplate that you see down there in the corner, this is just an image. So I have it presenting this local file, this SVG, that has a semi-transparent background, and I've positioned it appropriately. Now this is actually a browser source. So we'll talk a little bit about browser sources in a minute. I wanted to show you something about the StreamDeck here for a second. I'm going to move OBS off. So the StreamDeck, this is the app that I use to control StreamDeck. And StreamDeck is just, it's a collection of buttons. It's an LCD panel. No. It's a collection of buttons that each have an LCD panel built into it that you can customize to do whatever it is that you want. So this is the application that runs it. let me see here. If let's put another camera on the display, and I'm going to create, and this is my Logitech that I've actually got set up to point down right now. There it is. There's my messy desk. There you go. So let's put this up in the corner, and you can see the StreamDeck right here. I have it tilted, right? So if I tilt that back, you can see I've got all these buttons here, including, let me pick this up. This is plugged into my USB. I'll turn that around so it's facing up for you. You can see on the top row there's the music actually playing, okay? And you can also see all the buttons that I'm using that are exactly the same as what's on the screen there to the left. Now, what I'm doing, and I'm going to turn off that camera now, because I'm paranoid about my messy desk. Huh? All right. I am going to, let's get blue playing again. So I have that sitting there, and so I can reach out and just start playing different buttons. Right? When you see me on my channel, and when I play sound effects and stuff, that's all coming right off of this. I've got those programmed and hidden behind buttons. And I've got all these scenes set up here, these buttons on the bottom row, right? This is 15 buttons that are right here, and you can program to do whatever you want. There's hooks directly, so I can automate OBS Studio or Mixer or play audio like I am this music right now. I can manage things inside the StreamDeck, including create folders that contain more buttons. So literally you have unlimited depth there that you can go after. Yep, Brent, good point. There is a tablet remote piece of software that you can get, that you can run on your phone, on your tablet, on another PC, so that you can remote control OBS. It's pretty nice. StreamDeck also makes a device that has, I think it's 4 buttons, not the full 15, if you need just a little thing over here. But you can also launch applications. I'm not sure what's text. Is that just a block of text? Yeah, you can just put text on a button. Whatever. But these bottom, I like to make the bottom row, these are the scenes that I'm presenting. So that starting shortly screen, 2 up, where you saw me in a little gray box next to, I don't have a guest today, but code with my host display, and then code with host display no name. If I click that button, you see it changes background color and it changed scenes. My nameplate went away. So nice, gives me a couple options here. And then here's my 2 songs, right? There's the intro song that I was playing, and then here's Blue, and I have it set to loop, and I have different volume levels, but you can also put down different images for these. My fiance has hue lights as her green screen lighting. Very cool. Yes, might be fun at Halloween. Add control scenes via signal art. No. Not doing that. But there are ways that we can control and launch sound effects, that kind of thing. My microphone I have turned on and off right here, and you can hear me now, and now you can hear me again. So that's that. And then the button to the left of that is the start and stop stream. I'm not going to click that because it'll stop the stream. The button that I wanted to set up real quick here is this one. This will actually show you, and there's a similar one for Mixer and YouTube, but it'll show you the number of viewers that you currently have. And right now, I have it wired up to my channel, and my channel isn't currently broadcasting, so it's not outputting any information. I'd like this to show the number of folks that are broadcasting on the number of folks that are viewing on the VisualStudio channel, so I can just look down. This isn't a button that actually does something, but it's a display output. I want to be able to look down and see, here's the number of people currently on the VisualStudio channel. So what I can do with this is I can pull this down and say add account, and it'll prompt me to log on to that channel. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off Karnak here because I don't want you to see any of my keystrokes. I'm going to come back over to, not there, here, and I am going to go to the VisualStudio channel, And actually, I don't need to go to the Visual Studio channel. I have my configuration here. I'm going to open this and move this off onto another screen so that I can grab my passwords and log in automatically here. There it is. I will copy. So my username is Visual Studio, and this will create a profile. That's not the right one. This will create a profile on my StreamDeck that I can use. I don't think that's the right one. No, that's not it. Even though I've copied and pasted it out of... That's better. All right. Yes, authorize my... There we go. Cool. Now I have a Visual Studio account here. I can choose that. And this little button should start showing me the number of folks that are currently watching on the Visual Studio channel. It'll poll every now and again. And we should see that start to update. Now, let's see. Where do I want it to go next? Did it update? Not yet. There we go. It's showing on my device here. It's showing a 67. That's fine. All right. Is there an API for the StreamDeck? Well, so I was thinking about that. Do we really need an API for the StreamDeck? Because the StreamDeck can actually run applications. As far as putting text on it, there are some folks that have built APIs that allow you to do those types of things. Twitch says 68, says DD. Okay. Whatever. That's fine. But this is what I'm tricking out. This is what I'm building out on the StreamDeck so that our folks that are going to be running the .NET Conf event, when we're running our community day, we're going to run everything through the StreamDeck so that it's real easy to see exactly what's going on throughout the entire event and to be able to set up scenes and interact with it quickly and easily. Now, I can't change my StreamDeck here without changing the way that I'm actually managing this stream. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to start building and working with the stuff that I need for .NET Conf, and that's something that our friend Dee Walsh here in the chat room, hey Dee, thanks for tuning in, is going to be helping with during that event, including things like our big Twitter and Twitch attendee party. So check this out. I don't normally do giveaways and trivia and I get interactive on my channel, but we don't do anything that's really fun and gamey and, you know, stuff for you to tune in and have a good time as far as, right, game-wise. We're programming, we're learning, but for this attendee party, we are. So we're actually going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing trivia questions. We're going to be doing all kinds of cool interactive stuff, and it's going to be live here on Twitch on the Visual Studio channel the first night of .NET Conf. So you're going to want to tune in and check that out. Now, I've got over on my other machine that we're going to be using during the event, I've got stuff set up, including the software for the StreamDeck, and here's actually my settings for the StreamDeck when I'm running it, and the font sizes are a little wonky because of scaling, and I'm remoted into this machine, so it looks kind of weird. But you can see, here's all my sound effects that I play when I'm broadcasting normally, right? This is actually a slightly older version, but there's my Robert De Niro, "You blew it" sound effect, and my rim shots, and Ric Flair with his "woo," right? So I've got these sound effects, and all they are is just saved on disk, and I push the button and it plays it. Easy. Are we giving away an Xbox and a new Surface? Are you kidding? Okay. That's pretty cool. And I can't win one. All right. This is the first day in several that I'm not doing stuff for our .NET Conf sponsorship. So what we've done is I actually have a profile, right? So I have these different profiles, and like this it's barren. I've been meaning to build this on the road. I have code with a friend, and it has some of the settings that are wired up to different configuration when I'm on the road and I need to do things differently. So I actually changed the images for when I start and stop a stream. I have a little Twitch logo here, so I know, right, this is the start button, because these little green icons here, they're very plain and it's hard to follow. So what I've done is I've started working on a profile. Let me, where is it? I can import a profile here. I forget where it is. Come on, I want to import a profile. Is it, can I do this? No. Shoot, because I've exported the profiles. I want to, there it is, import. Haha. Pro streamer, right here. So I save these files out, and it's okay to put them on your local disk, but that's kind of lame. I actually have these for Community Day saved right here. Its cloud operation was unsuccessful. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Give me my file. Download it. Come on. OneDrive should download and make that available. And as one of our friends, I can't remember who it was, said earlier, some of the Microsoft cloud services are having a little bit of a problem this morning. If not, I have it saved on my production machine here. I'll copy it over. If that doesn't load, oh, come on. Don't give me this. Yeah. That feels bad. Oh, man. I always have issues with cloud while presenting. You're right, Maruko. Maruko? I do. I'm supposed to be able to rely on the cloud, and for some reason, every time I'm streaming, whether it's Azure, whether it's some of those things, yeah, it's just a mess. Do I record locally? Nope. Let Twitch do it. And then when I export stuff over to YouTube, it's all done in the cloud, and I don't have to think about it. Let me see if can I get to this online and download it? Nope. Oh boy. Oh, wait a sec. It's a different cloud. I'm gonna have to be careful with this. No, that's on a different machine. Think, Jeff. Think. How should we do this? Because I need that profile, and I need all the stuff that goes with it. Let's do this. Seriously, I'm not having much luck with some of the cloud services here, I tell you. I'm going to copy these files. Yeah, I'm going to zip these up. Hang on. Yeah, I should be able to grab all of this. So let's send this. Wait a second. How big is that? 140, 243. Let's see, I'm going to come back over here. There's some videos that I need to include, but I'm going to grab just those 3 for right now. Let's see if I can get this copied over. Here, no. You know what? I'm going to put this right on the root of my dev folder, and I'm going to create a folder called Community Day. Just so that it's locally. Awesome. All right, now I should be able to load that profile. Yeah, go away. All right, import cdev community day. There it is. Cool. All right. Let's take a look at what I've built here. So for the event, check Mary Jo's tweet. Uh-oh, what did Mary Jo do? What did Mary Jo do? Do I need to worry? Interesting. Let's see. Okay. I hear you saying there's something going on that MJ has. Because if there's anybody who's going to get to the bottom of something... Yeah. The entire South Central data center is down. Yep. No. We saw that earlier this morning. So, this is the fact that she's giving that she's giving the update on those issues is, in my mind, a problem. Somebody from Microsoft should be issuing that. Jay Wood says, you don't edit before it goes to YouTube. Nope. To be perfectly honest, I could, but I have other responsibilities, and I don't have time to edit 3 hours of video 3-4 days a week. That's where I might be hiring an editor to do something like that. So, the StreamDeck for .NET Conf, I have only 4 different scenes that I'm going to be showing. There's a starting shortly, where in case there's some reason that we need to stop and not show some content. There's an in-studio camera. If for some reason we need to go to the host in studio, we're going to flip to our camera. If we need to share our screen for some reason, I can go to that. And then I have the remote folks. Who is it that I'm showing remotely that I'm going to be presenting? And this is going to be coming from another machine that is dedicated to just maintaining that Skype connection. So that's pretty easy for us to point out and say, well, people are dialing in, they're on Skype on this machine, I make Skype full screen, and the output of that is what we're going to present here. And then I put people's nameplates together so that they're just pieces of a scene that I can present here. So let me show you. Let me show you OBS on this machine. So this OBS isn't wired up to anything. Remind me later on this. So I started, and this is the wrong. You can actually import and manage your scene collections here, and I've got a whole bunch of them on this machine that I need to really work with and clean up. But I'm going to go get this from, it was under CDev Community Day, and I have my .NET Conf. Yes, replace it, please. And it's not showing all of the scenes here. Okay, that's weird. Remove that. Yes. That's one of my really old scenes that I was working with. Let's try and import that one more time. CDev Community Day. This one. And now I should be able to go. And it crashed. Nice. One more time. You exported, not imported. Oh, did I? Oh man, if I did. Import. Right? CDev. No, that's an older version. And actually I should, let's see here. I want to export. No, it won't let me. Oh boy. All right, let me grab this. All right, no, this isn't my setup yet. Rats. What are we going to do here? Let me do this. It's on this machine. I'm going to flip over to that setting, which is going to break things. Rats, I can't do it. So one of the ideas that we had here is that I've got all of the bumpers for this, so, right? So we're going to have little 5-minute commercials, if you will, while we're changing from one speaker to the next. And I have them set up as separate scenes where the video is the full screen. Here's Ed Charbonneau from Telerik, and we're just going to be able to present that very quickly and easily. It's a local file, point to this, start the playback when the source becomes active, and then hide source when the playback ends. So when it finishes, have it go away. So there's those two that I'll be able to just pan back and forth between, and I have all of those bumpers now that I'm programming and wiring up here as StreamDeck buttons. This way, I can just click on them and it'll present them at the appropriate time, and these aren't the times that we're scheduling them yet. I'm just trying to get them loaded into my StreamDeck. But I'll have the first 12 here for the first 12 of the 24 hours, and then the last 12 will be here. So, and you can see I have that same Twitch and Mixer configuration set up here, and I still, when I take this to the machine at and take this with me to Channel 9 Studios, I'll wire these up and have those configured with the machine there. Oh, I've got backups on other machines, yes. And no, I didn't overwrite it because the version that's sitting here on my machine, right? I'll even grab it and bring in a new one here. Yeah, replace the file with that one. Yes, please do it. So 830, that's the version. So I'll go back to OBS, scene collection. I will import cdev community day, this one. See, and it didn't replace it here. It's the exact same thing. Ooh, actually, nope. There we go. Ah, this is what I was looking for. Thanks, I think. So there's some interesting things here that I'm trying to set up, and I want to get your feedback here. You're right. Thank you so much, chat room, for picking up that. Always have 3 copies of everything I need in different media forms. That's not a bad idea. CTM Cisco asks Streamlabs OBS versus OBS. We answered that question a little bit earlier, but I will. So I'll redirect you to that answer from earlier, but I prefer full OBS because of the freedom, and they've updated the browser controls, and it runs pretty good now. I assume it's just Windows version with additional interaction plugins. Yeah. Yes, I have additional plugins put down here. Yep, you're right, Hagar. So, this is awesome. Always happens to us, but I thought we were alone. No, it happens to everybody. Demo Day Gremlins, yes. And you saw it downloaded from OneDrive now. So, I have, and look at this, right? All my resolution stuff here is all messed up now. If I take a look at my settings, my output, this should be going, see, for some reason it's, I don't want it going 3840. It should be going, not 1280, it should be going high def, 1920. So I'm going to set that back to high def, and now my background fits properly here, so I'll lock that in. So we'll have nice background. I actually have a .NET Conf background that we'll use for that. Let me see. Should be. What do I have here? Yeah, I do have. Starting shortly. Come on. Yeah. I need to get a .NET Conf specific one, so I'll make a note and request that. Same name creates a new menu item. Yeah, look at that. Lame. And I can't click into them and remove them or edit. I actually have to be in it in order to edit the list here. So I have that in studio, right? So these buttons that I had over here, right? In studio camera and screen share, they point to these two. And I'm using a series of lines here just so I can separate and make them, for people who are running the stream, logical separations between groups of settings here. So, right, this will be going to a camera setting here. And right now the camera's not wired up. But it would be full screen camera. And then there's a nameplate that I'm not sure why it's not appearing. Oh, because I didn't export it out from Creative Cloud yet. That's fine. So I'm building these nameplates. So I have one for Scott, I have one for myself, I have for Beth, and I'm building them for all the speakers that look just like this nameplate that you see right here. So I'm building that out, and it'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. The screen share, this is going to be, and I have this actually wired up. You see it says remote Skype machine. If I double click on it, I've already got this pre-configured to bring in from my game capture so that I get all of the audio and video coming over there. Now I normally use, like I'm doing here, you can see up at the top, I remoted into this other machine. When you remote into that other machine, the audio that you get over using a remote desktop connection, it's not always perfect, right? Sometimes it comes through right, sometimes it doesn't, but using the game capture device, I literally just connect up and I get the exact same thing everywhere. And actually, I have it right here. There we go. This is, I'll show this on screen. There it is. This is the Elgato HD60. There's another version called the HD60S that has a USB-C adapter on it. It's about $100–150 that you can find at Best Buy. You can find it on Amazon or any other electronic shop. But you'll see it at Best Buy. This is actually in the it's next to the PlayStation 4s, and because kids are going to use it to broadcast. So the Elgato device, real easy to use. HDMI on one side. And let me unplug this. So you can see there. Come on, camera, focus. Get in there. HDMI, no, not going to focus. HDMI, a mini USB, not a micro USB, but a mini USB out. And then you can plug a microphone in here so you can actually put your commentary directly over it on this device. I don't like to do that because I'd rather have OBS control it, and it gives me a lot more control over volume. On the other side, so that was the HDMI in, USB out, and that USB connects into my machine. On the other side, there's a pass-through HDMI so that you can still output to another display, another television, whatever, without it being interrupted by OBS. It just goes straight through, so you can still be playing a game on your television or whatever. I was doing that with my Mac. If you remember me, when I was doing Maze for Macs, I was connecting my Mac into my PC using the Elgato device, and I had video coming out there into my normal display. So I was using my Mac normally, and I had OBS doing its interactions. And I agree with Brent. If you're going to buy Elgato, the S is the way to go at this point because it has a little bit higher throughput. The HD60, so HD60S has a little bit faster throughput, but it doesn't have onboard encoding. You'll actually rely on your own machine to do the transcoding to different, the H.264 encoding, so the video encoding that you want to do. But the latency, as Brent is pointing out, is huge. It is the most important thing with these devices, because if there is a little bit of lag between your talking and what's appearing coming on screen, it stinks. It is not a good experience. You don't want that. So this is already wired up and ready for me to plug in and connect another machine, and it'll take up the full screen here along with all the audio coming in from that other machine. So here's my audio for this scene, right? So here's a scene, that one source coming in from the Elgato device, and we're going to paint it appropriately there. And then same thing, this is where all of my remote settings are going to be coming in. So I'm actually going to grab the camera, and I think I should be able to show this. Nope, it's not going to. I don't have the NDI installed on this device. So Skype now has NDI support, right? And I can install. I don't have the NDI tools installed here. No, I do. Why didn't I see the NDI? Yep. Output name. So I want to be able to do the output also. That's something you can tinker with on your own, but you should be able to have NDI as a video, as a camera video input, and I didn't see it there in my list. You'll have an NDI video input here, and you can choose to get that out of Skype and present that there. Right, if I isn't. Yeah, New Tech NDI video is what you should see in there. I'm wondering if it's not displaying properly because I'm remoted into this machine and it's not using its displays and is kind of weirded out by what it's doing right now. But I've started putting the nameplates in here as well, and like I said, they're not pointed to the right place. But because I have the little eyeball here, what I can do when it comes time for showing up someone's nameplate, what I can do is actually say, no, this should be wrong .NET Conf. It was this one. Right, I can have it say, in this scene, the remote Skype, right, we're going to turn on and off Jeff's name. So when I click that button on my device, it's going to activate, it's going to show and hide this source as part of the scene, and that's how I'm going to construct these. So I need to create these for each one of our presenters. Not hard to do, but I also need all of those nameplates, and when I have all those nameplates, I'll be able to just create these buttons that point over there and turn them on and off. So that's not bad. Now, here's the thing that I wanted, the next piece I wanted to show you that I'm working on. So I've got bumpers here, and that's kind of cool, you know. You saw briefly when I click on one of these, it jumps right into the presentation. And our friend Chef Brent has some that he's put together for his organization, Twilio, and we're going to get them loaded in here a little bit later today, tomorrow, as I start to settle on these last couple of items. So, I mean, it's real nice. I'll be able to click the buttons on my StreamDeck and activate these things. But what I really want to do, and here's the thing that I think is going to be cool about this, is not only do I have these other scenes, but when I finish with so-and-so, you know, okay, you know, hey, we're done, you know, talking to Seth here at Channel 9. Well, now let's go to Jeff at his home in Pennsylvania, and I've got a video that does the whole Google flight to the next speaker. And we'll zoom in tight, and there's Jeff in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. So that's cool. And then we'll dissolve to the next. Right? I should have it pause there at the end, shouldn't I? Let's change that. Don't hide the source when it ends. Just have it stop. Yeah, I think that's right. Try that again. All right. So the idea is, because I've got all these great speakers from all over the world. Ah, you like that, Dee Dee? See? Not just a hat rack. And since I am here on the VisualStudio channel today, I thought I'd wear a company hat. So now it stops. Good. So then the idea is, right, so now we're going to go to Jeff in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, and there's a nice pin. You saw a little bit of where I am, and it's not exact where I am, right? I'm trying to provide some level of obscurity so you don't see exactly where people are. And then we'll cut to, all right, so, you know, and here's Jeff. And this will be the video coming in from the Skype machine, and it'll be me full screen. How you doing? And, you know, with nameplate in the corner. And, hey, I'm going to talk to you today about why ASP.NET is the coolest, bestest thing you could use to build web applications, and you really got to check out ASP.NET Core. And when you're done learning about ASP.NET Core, deploy it to Azure App Service because it's the coolest. And then we finish, we'd go and we'll have some back and forth perhaps with the in-studio host. If there's some questions, we'll go to their camera, and then we'll go back to the guest, and we'll have this ability to flip back and forth. You saw as a switcher, right? This is when you get to become TV director, right? We'll be able to just switch back and forth between the hosts and the guests and be able to have that cool interaction. And then we're done. We say, hey, thanks so much, Jeff. We really appreciate you being on .NET Conf with us. Now we're going to go and we're going to learn a little bit about Twilio and whatever. And then we go right into the next video. And we'll do that, right, with these bumper buttons. And there's our friend Sam. Sam, you're getting a lot of airtime here today. Somebody drop Sam a tweet. Sam Basu. I think he's at Samadip on Twitter. So we'll go into that, and then when he finishes up and that video is over, maybe we come back to starting shortly, if there's anything that we need to do, and then perhaps we have the host come on and say, all right, now, hey, we're going to go to so-and-so in London, and then we'll have that flight take off from, in my case, Philadelphia area, and go to London. So we're building these little Google videos, and you can see the Google disclaimers here built into the video. This is a feature of Google Maps, and when you download Google Maps, it has their watermarks and stuff built in there. You missed the screen capture of Sam. Here, I'll go back to Sam. Is that one Sam, or is that Ed? That's Ed. We'll go back to Sam. So we'll grab that video. Hey, Sam. Hey. So I'll grab all of those videos using Google Maps tools, and we'll export that little 10-second video of the flight, and we'll have some really cool experience flying back and forth. Your portable app's installation of OBS and hadn't realized how useful it is for non-streaming uses, like recording the desktop. Oh yeah, Smab, you can record the desktop. So here's something that I did the other day that was kind of fun. So you saw up here, right? Whatever, that's fine, let that play. So there's NDI output. So when you enable NDI output, what this does is it makes the video output that I would normally be streaming and sending to Twitch or recording, it makes this available as a camera on your machine. So what I did when I was actually on the phone with a customer was I did my Twitch stream for them as an NDI output going over Skype, because I could set my OBS output as the camera in to Skype. So they saw this layout, right? And it was me with VisualStudio in the background, just like I normally do. And it just worked. And they were blown away that they could see me on the screen with the cool little nameplate and stuff, and able to do those rich interactions and answering their questions. And it was a nice, professionally produced presentation. Really, really fun stuff. I use OBS for screen capture, for screencasts all the time. Yeah, it's really nice. And then using Premiere and After Effects to edit, it's really a nice collection of tools. So I have some images here that I've already put in place. I really need to build these additional pieces here, and I'm kind of annoyed that I'm not getting any of the stuff to display properly. Like here's Jurgen's nameplate, and it's, well, now it is loading. So why isn't it? Oh, I've got it turned off. So that's where Jurgen's will appear. And see, why isn't it loading mine? Oh, because I didn't export things properly from my other machine. Ugh. So I've got to do a little bit of work here to get these things exported and moved over properly. But this is how I'm building this event. When my hosts are ready, I'll have these various flights, and I can actually duplicate these little lines here, right? I'm just going to duplicate this, whatever. I'll call this 4. And I'll move that. The order that these things appear here doesn't really matter. You can have, there's like a couple hundred of these scenes that you can have sitting here, and these all get saved out to a JSON file. But you can create them and recreate them, and it's real easy to manage. Adding the sources is just going through here and putting things together. Now you can can start to group some of these sources together. That's a recent feature. You can also filters? No. You can put effects, filters on things. Where is it? There's a way that you can, not the transition. So I'll talk about transitions here in a second. There's a way that you can actually, I thought there was a way to color these. There was a way to label them and color them. And I don't, you know what? It's because I didn't install that latest version. It's in the latest. Yes, use OBS output as input to Skype. Absolutely. Did this on a Twilio weekly call recently and had a new desk layout. Yes. So you may have seen me. Let me show off here for a second. Right, so you can effectively use whatever background you'd like. So here's some of the images that I use. I've had nice beach background when I've been tinkering around. I've got, what else? Right, there's my office. When you see me broadcast on my channel, there's my office. I just took a picture and I just used that as my background. But, oh, and I was chased by a dinosaur one day. Anyways, but I grabbed a copy of a picture of the Channel 9 set. Now, here's the thing. To make yourself appear behind some of these things, you actually need a second piece. So what I did was I cut out the front of the desk. There it is. So that it's transparent behind these things. So I can put, using Chroma key, myself in front of the Channel 9 desk, and then put this in front of myself. So now I'm layered in between these things, because the things in the sources, these are actually Z-index layers, right? Whatever's on top, this is what's on top of everything. So if let me bring this over again, right? And let's hide that. Whoa! Let's do this. So you see how my name is there next to me and it's kind of layered on top of me? Right, that's host nameplate is on top of my webcam, which is on top of the display, right? And that's how I've got this, right, 3-layer set of pictures there. So that, right, it's pretty easy to understand when you think about it along the lines of something that you might see in Photoshop, where you're actually layering these images, these video resources. And that's all I did with this Channel 9 stuff. What's really fun is then sitting at a desk with a green screen covering it so you can set stuff down on the virtual desk. Yes, right? So I've had a green shirt that I've draped over the back of my chair before, make my chair disappear, right? Or, right, you can do other things to make things disappear and reappear. Now, one thing that I didn't point out, so I've got the Keo light here and it lights up my face nicely, but to light up my green screen evenly, I actually have this, I have an RGB set of lights here and it's got a little remote control that looks like this. Look at that, and you can even see the green buttons are cut out there. Look at that. But this will allow me to set the lights, the color on these little RGB lights that I have on the floor behind me. So let me go here. Let's see, let's go Amazon RGB lights. No. They are, and I need to link these appropriately. It's not the string of lights. These ones. They're little 15-watt lights. They're very cheap, but they output whatever color you want. So I just set them to green and have them pointed at my green screen to fill in the color. So, and that's all they look like. And they're sitting, one's sitting on my desk next to me and one's sitting on the floor, and it's just pointed at the green screen to fill in the color. Real easy to do, and it's that important. You need to set yourself separate from the color behind you that I've done. So, all right, what else? So I'm not actually going to be able to build anymore here without actually getting into and building some of those images. Oh, I wanted to do some with Stream Elements and with Streamlabs. Let's go over to those. I'm going to go back to my other machine here. So I have things like this starting shortly, and my in-studio camera and my screen share, and right, I've got these settings out here, and I wanted to start building out. Now, I'm not going to get into this with Stream Elements today. I wanted to start building out a toolkit. I want to build out a kit so that for folks who do want to host on the VisualStudio channel, I want you to be able to grab everything that you need from one location and be up and ready and running in minutes. So things like this background, I can configure in Stream Elements along with some of the other settings. Actually, this might be easier to do with this. So let me hide some of that screen again just for a second. Hey. So I have some of these other settings that I can point into. Like here's this 2-up background. Well, I've actually got alternate backgrounds that you can see here behind me, not just my host nameplate and my guest nameplate, but I've got this. It looks like a person working on their desk, but I've also got this, that. Right, circles. I've got this cool swirl because everybody likes curves, you know. So you know, it's nice. You know, it does a thing. Oh, and I've also got space. So, placing these somewhere so that this asset can be found and used and real easy for folks to use, without me having to distribute all the different materials and to keep folks pointing to one place. I'm building out a toolkit on Stream Elements, and as I get a little bit further on it, I'm not going to show it today because it's a little bit incomplete, and I don't want folks to be able to hijack some of the content just yet. But I can put all of these resources out on Stream Elements where they let you build. I'll at least show you Stream Elements here. Stream Elements. Yes. Become a streaming legend. Just like Tim the Tatman. No. Signing off for lunch. Thanks. We'll catch the rest later. We're not going to be too much further. What about my personal background on this? So I spent some time doing video direction for my local church. And that was something that I spent a lot of time on, learning how to do video composition and display, and it's actually not that hard to do. It's pretty easy to get up and running with. Stream Elements is a service out here you can sign up for free, wire it up to your Twitch account, to your YouTube account. They do not support Mixer yet, they tell me. But you can log in here and you can see all the information about how it's going, what people are interacting with your channel. You know, here's some followers. That's nice. But you can build your overlays here. I don't have any overlays here. And as I'm building this, right, and let's just call this first, sure, 1080p. And it'll start to allocate these overlays for me. I can launch them, and it's really just a web page that you're browsing to, and you embed this web page inside of OBS. That's it. And I can edit it here, and I can put widgets and things directly into this, and they'll display in the output. Now there's a bunch of pre-made layouts and things that you can use for free. Absolutely, this is all for free. Where Stream Elements will get you is, let me exit this, is tipping. So if you were to set up your stream such that people can make donations to you and you use Stream Elements service, they take a little off the top when you receive donations. So there are pre-baked elements in this, yes, and pre-baked features. So if I go to themes, you can actually install and say use this theme, and there's all kinds of really cool things that you can start with right off the get-go here. So animated super theme. Let's try this one. Sure. Create my overlay, and it's kind of optimized for Dota, right? Defense of the Ancients. Right, and you know what? Let's not do that one. I don't want to do Dota. I don't like Dota. Variety. Yeah, variety is good. Not Dota. Give me purple. No, I'd prefer English, thank you. No, that looks really cool. Let's do this one. Violet Momentum Animated. Because it looks so 80s. Right, so let's call this demo on stream. And it'll create these overlays for us with all kinds of neat stuff. One streamer used Streamlabs, but now use OBS Studio again, and the Be Right Back screen is like an acrylic layer in front of camera that blurs the background. Yes. Oh, yes. Grab the scene link to your OBS. So here's all the different links that you can, that it built for you that you would copy in, and I'm control clicking on these and it's not actually going anywhere. Oh, it's copying. See the theme. Show me this. The cassette tape. Yeah, it's so cool and retro. But these are things that are available for free for you. So, right, here's that Be Right Back. Right, and I would embed this and I would make this my full screen, and it's got things baked into it, right? These cool little animations. It shows the chat over here. But this is all being done by Stream Elements, and I would just embed this URL inside of OBS full screen, right? So let's just grab that and I'll show you how that works real quick. Right, we'll call this Stream Elements Be Right Back. And you add a browser, right? You're telling it what this is. So let's call this Be Right Back. And instead of going to some URL, I'm going to tell it to go out to this location, and I need to make it full resolution, full scale. That's fine. And there it goes. And now you can see that doing all kinds of funky stuff on screen with links out to whatever it is that I want to customize. Not bad. Right, let me go back over here. See, I can't really show it and show it at the same time. Right, oh, you know what I could do? I could go to studio mode. Ha! Let's do that, and I thought there was a way. So, right, here's the, so in studio mode, you can see here's what I'm sending out over here on the right, and over on the left here you can see this is what's in preview, right? And I thought there was a way to, right? There's a way to change the layout here. Multi-view, no. Yeah, I thought there was a way to change it. Scene sources mixer, yeah. Or I thought you could drag this so you could see it both. But you can see there's what the Be Right Back looks like, right? And here's what I'm currently presenting, and it's still got that infinity look. But all those stream elements configurations over here, they're saved, and they've got little widgets and things built into them, baked into them. Violet Momentum, animated in-game scene, right? So if we take a look at this one, and it's now just a web page. I can replace this, and it'll go somewhere different. It'll load all that stuff up. And these are just web components, right, that it's painting on screen. And then, right, I would theoretically put my picture there in the corner. So, right, if I did a video capture, grab my webcam. Right, and it would look something like this. Right, put it behind it. And now it looks like, you know, I'm in the middle of there. I should probably have some sort of a background behind me there. Right, go back over here. If I take the chroma key off there, it takes it off everywhere. But, right, I could certainly put a right? There's full color. They call it a color source. That's fine. Let's make this, I'll call it purple, you know, and I'll choose some color. Yeah, something like that. Cool. Right, and I can size that and put it right behind me. Right? Now, you have to actually, it's weird, you have to actually specify these a little bit in order to get it to change. There we go. In order to get it to change shape. Right, so there it is behind me. And I can do these things, right? They're free, they're cheap, it's nothing for me to get it set up. Want to set the frames, well, this one with all the animations on this, absolutely. We'll set the frames per second a little bit higher. There we go. I gotta drink less Diet Coke. Fritz with that rainbow beer challenge. Yep, it's happening. 3526 is what I'm seeing over here when I look at my channel. But, right, I mean, it looks cool, and it's me there in a little window, you know, overlaid on top of whatever. In general, from Stream Elements, has to do with their optimizations. Okay. So, even for the non-animated. So, that's Stream Elements. And they have all kinds of features like this that you can download, and you build these scenes out, and, right, you build these online, right? So if I were to click edit on this, it takes me into this overlay editor. And these are all images, videos, animated GIFs that are embedded here, right? And instead of saying Twitter here, right, for my stuff, right, maybe this says at VisualStudio, right? You know, and whatever for these other ones. As I save this here, it updates over inside OBS, right? So I'm not touching OBS at this point. It's built, and what's in Stream Elements is what's being presented. And we have things like an alert box. And if you've watched my channel, you've seen the alert box pop up with Steve Ballmer chanting developers, developers, developers. What am I listening to on the headphones? Surely not the stream itself. Yes, I'm listening to the stream. I have, right, you're hearing music to code by. I'm hearing that. I'm plugged into my microphone. So I'm hearing the level and my voice coming through the microphone. So I'm sure that I understand and I hear the levels that are being presented to you. Now, being plugged in and listening on your own machine means I'm relying on this mixer and the levels that this is presenting to be accurately reflecting exactly what it is that I'm hearing. Right, another level of professionalism that you hit in running a stream is that eventually you get professional sound hardware. And I'm in the middle of setting that up and provisioning that. You can't talk when you hear your own voice on a microphone. It's not distracting. I do a lot of voiceover work, so there is no delay. This is what I'm hearing through the mic as I talk into it happens immediately. It is not distracting, and as somebody who does voiceover, it's what I'm used to hearing. What I'm in the midst of setting up, though, is a sound mixer with individual inputs. So these things that you're seeing as individual inputs coming in here will be separate microphones and inputs coming into the sound mixer with alternate outputs going out, one to my monitoring headphones, so I hear exactly what's going across OBS. And also a USB out that goes from the sound mixer back into my PC that's producing. What mixer did I end up getting? I ordered a Mackie. Let me roll over and I will show you. And I've been coveting this Mackie 8-channel mixer. It's an 8-channel mixer because I want to be able to support multiple inputs. It's this one. So this one, yeah, I'm spending a couple bucks to get this. But I've got separate channels for 4 different stereo microphones coming in off of, this is called an XLR connection, this connection with the 3 holes here. It's that analog audio connection that folks use from their, you'll see this in theaters, you'll see this in halls, places that you might be presenting. You'll see that type of connection. You also can do stereo. These are stereo left-right input, like you might have on your normal stereo at home. That's what's coming in on the next 2 lines here. And then you have your equalizer, high, mid, and low. And then you have sound effects you can bring in there. I didn't mean to click on that. Panning left and right, I'm not going to be doing that because it's mostly my audio, but I'll be bringing in my sound effects through a separate channel. And then you have the various levels that you can set going across with the main mix going out here on this last one. So there's the sound effects, so I'll be able to put an echo on, nice and easy. Stereo equalizer for the entire output. So headphones and the monitor come through on this channel here, and you're able to push out to other connections. So the reason I decided on Mackie is I talked to our friend Carl Franklin, and he talked about a few Behringer, Mackie, and Yamaha. Yamaha is the high-end one, really expensive, really high quality for playing music. Great stuff. Behringer, cheap, low end. I was probably going to outgrow it quickly. So this is kind of the middle, and it felt like the right one for me. When I get it and get it set up, I will definitely share and talk about that with you on my stream. All right, so this is Stream Elements, and you can see, right, there's all these little widgets that are coming in from different places. Recent followers, recent subscribers. These are widgets that are coming in, and you've seen me build on my stream how to interact with these widgets. And there's all kinds of widgets that you can drag on from here, that alert box, all kinds of stuff that you can just put on the layout in Stream Elements, and it'll just appear inside of OBS. I like to use, so I'm not using Stream Elements for my channel. For my channel, I use Streamlabs. You have a Focusrite. Cool. Okay. It was not good. Oh no. All right, have a good day. Yeah, this is about where I'm going to leave off, is just a little bit here. So Streamlabs builds things as widgets. They don't have the full scene that you're interacting with. So when I log in here, and I'm logging in with my Twitch account, OBS has the ability to integrate with not just Twitch, but also Mixer. And you can see I'm logged in as VisualStudio here, and I can take a look around. I can build and download, just like over in Stream Elements, themes for my different scenes that I want to present. And these are kind of cool, nice little pieces of imagery that completely free for you to download and start using. You literally, where is it? There's a download button here somewhere. What was that? Something happened. There was a thing. More things. It's over in Stream Elements. What's Stream Elements doing? There's a thing going on. Exit. No, don't exit. Exit the widgets. Go back to my stuff. Open a new tab. Did we get some followers? Because there's some sound effects that go along with that. Yeah, we got some followers. Cool. Thank you for the new followers. But you can, right, there's a button in here somewhere you can download these, and they're just images that you configure and download on your OBS. And I don't see the download button. But I'm not using their scenes. I built my own scene. I'm funny like that. And I'm using just their widgets, which are here. So here's where I have my alert box configured for use with my channel. Now, I'm not using, for the purposes of the VisualStudio channel, we're not going to use an alert box. We're not going to use goals. We're not going to use, we might use an event list. An event list will show you, here's the last how many people that have followed, that have participated, and there's a widget URL that you navigate to, and it'll just present the content of the recent events here on stream. So let me move this over here. And this is just a browser element. So if somebody follows, it should appear here in the browser. There it is. Right? Follow should appear. It's not following. But I might set this up on the VisualStudio channel. But Stream Elements has this type of interaction very nicely in all in one place so that I don't need to give people access to this. I give them access to a browser page and they just get it. So that may be one thing. What I'm going to use Stream Elements for is their bot, because their bot does support the three places that I need to be: Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. Because folks like Scott Hanselman and the ASP.NET Community Stand-Up with John Galloway and Damian Edwards, they're primarily on YouTube. So I want to get a bot set up so that it can help them with some of the things that are going on during their stream. And we'll turn on and off various features. Now, Dee pointed out we've got some giveaways for next week at .NET Conf. We're going to use the bot to help enter people in and manage some of those giveaways, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Use your normal Windows account to stream from C# Fritz or separate streaming one. So Gareth, I don't. I have a completely separate account that I use specific for streaming. And I've got all that saved off into a LastPass, so I don't have to remember any user IDs, passwords. It just does its thing. But the bot, you download, you install, and you log into it, and I'm going to need to run 3 different instances, so it connects to the 3 different services. And it will present and interact with the folks in those chat rooms appropriately. And you can configure it to do all kinds of things, and it's a lot of fun to get set up and have out there running. So, but Streamlabs has, you know, if you've seen, let me log into my Streamlabs just so you can see what it looks like fully configured with my stuff. There it is, Streamlabs. And, yep, log in with my Twitch. But there's GIFs, there's sound effects already configured here, and these are just widgets that you place. These are browser elements that you place on screen. So the alert box that I have that has on my channel Steve Ballmer showing up and saying developers, developers, developers is right here, and under follows, there's Steve. And there's my developers, developers, developers sound effect that goes with it. So I went and found this GIF, copied it in, set up the sound effect to go with it, and I have it only play for 5 seconds, so it doesn't even get all the way through it. He says developers, 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 and it cuts him off. And I can launch this URL. It's sitting over here, and I can test and bring Steve back. There it is. So there's all kinds of configuration options here. All kinds of stuff for you to tinker and play with, and real easy to get in, get these features, and I can copy out that browser address now and paste it into OBS, and now I'll have Steve running for VisualStudio. So There's so much to this. And I really didn't get into actually building anything, but I wanted to show you a little behind the scenes about how all these pieces come together and work. And I hope this has been... Let me see. Let me go back over to this. I want to go here. Yep, and then I can transition. There you go. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope it's been a little educational. I've got those blog posts out there on my blog that show and tell you exactly how to get started with the various tools, the various pieces of hardware that I've got. I need to update it with some of the new things that I've been putting in place, particularly my new camera that I'm using here, the Razer Kiyo, the green lights that I have set up in the background, and some of the things that I've done to configure my StreamDeck. I think how I'm configuring the StreamDeck for .NET Conf is something that folks are going to find pretty interesting. Last thing that I didn't show you, let me just wander over here real quick and make sure I'm showing you this. Back here, when I was configuring my StreamDeck, right, I've got these buttons that they're kind of plain. They don't really show or tell you anything, and they've just got the words on it. You can actually load in settings and different images for what these things look like. So I could put, you know, right, instead of having this background on here, I can say set from file, and because it's Jeff, right, I could, you know, go find, here's all my keys that I've got loaded up for various things. But inside here, I actually have a folder called Me. Yeah, Me. And there you go. So instead of making it that, I can, right, do this and then position the title so it's at the bottom. And this is multi-line, so I can do something like that and make the font a little smaller maybe. So I can see and I know, all right, well here, we're going to go to Jeff next, so let's click the Jeff button and it shows up and away you go. So there are features where if you say create new icon, it actually goes out to the StreamDeck website with Elgato. And all kinds of buttons out here that you can download and use, customize, download, and use as button images on your StreamDeck. Or, like I did, grab a photo, grab whatever, and just slap it in there, and away you go. So I like using this one here with the microphone to show that the microphone's turned on and turned off. So these buttons, right, if you look here, this actually has an on and off state. So you know when it's on and when it isn't. So maybe the off state, instead of just being dimmed, you can actually grab and put something else on top of it. Oh, sorry about that, Niami. So, all right. We covered a lot. I've taken you behind the scenes and shown you how all this stuff works. And look, you got two of me now because one isn't quite enough. What else? I think we've covered a ton here today. And it's about 12 o'clock. I actually have a meeting that I need to get to. I have back-to-back planning and preparation meetings for our events next week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off here from the VisualStudio channel. If you hang out on this channel, there's lots of other people that are going to be streaming throughout the day. Dev Chatter, our friend Brendan Enrick will be on a little bit later. Tomorrow, of course, Mark Miller and Code Rush gets syndicated over here. Tune in, you know, keep an eye on what's going on the VisualStudio channel. There's always lots of great content. We're trying to get involved and over here and running. And if you're starting a stream and if you've got something happening and it's really working out for you, drop me a line on Twitter. Let me know, and we'll see about getting you syndicated and on the channel here as well. AGR asks, is all of .NET Conf being streamed or just parts of it? All of it will be streamed to Twitch. All of it. You'll be able to watch the whole thing from here. All right? So, that's all the time I have for today. I will, of course, archive this video, and you'll be able to find it. I'm going to archive it and push it over to the C# Fritz channel on Twitch, and I'll push it out to the C# Fritz channel on YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and seeing this kind of behind the scenes, how we're building the Visual Studio channel. I hope this is helpful for some of you that are getting started building streams. I'm excited and eager to help you build streams, build a channel, build some content here that we can share, teach other folks, and reach out beyond your local geography, reach out across the interwebs to folks on a different continent, a different hemisphere, and share and interact with them and have great chat and great video content. It's a lot of fun, and I hope that you enjoy it and you find a good purpose for it in your life. So, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you Thursday. I'll be back on my channel, twitch.tv/CSharpFreds. All right? Take care.